Howie Mandel, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, it's just you alone going like this. It doesn't sound like well, during COVID, that's a block party sound.
Yes. Actually, everyone is lined up outside my house. They come for the live taping, so here we are.
Oh,
you
really?
Can't see them. We don't have that technology yet, but they're outside. They're there.
No, I know, but up until COVID hit, when they would hear the block party, people go, "I gotta go. I want to be there. It's probably wild." And he's at a radio station, and it's just great. It's a studio. Now you're in your house by yourself, having just a one-man block party.
Pretty much.
And it's kind of sad, but I'm thrilled to be here. I'm not even here. I'm on Zoom.
Right.
At my own party.
Howie Mandel, last time you were here, we talked about your podcast, doing cool things and cool stuff. And you got the whole family kind of involved in every episode. Now, last week, AGT, America's Got Talent, it is back. And let me tell you, awesome first episode, like way to kick off a whole new season 16.
Well, and I think it kind of replicated the feeling that we have there. I think it's the only show on now that is happening now that has a live audience and that kind of excitement, and looks like the television shows that we were all used to and we all loved. And as I said to many people, this is the light at the end of the tunnel that we've all been in. And it felt like that. I mean, I've never laughed harder, screamed louder, been more emotional than I was at, sitting in and judging, season 16. And if you missed it last week, it was my golden buzzer. And it was this beautiful choir of nurses who were on the front line at the epicenter of COVID, who've seen such horrible tragedy, but they were so wonderful and so moving. And just, I think, and the next episode is even better. It just keeps getting better and better and better as it goes on. And I think the impetus for people just to want to be out of their house and just to want to do things, people discovering talents they never had, taking the talents that they had and just taking them to a whole new level. It's just, it's so exciting. It's so palpable. And it's a must see for everybody to watch Tuesday nights on NBC.
Yeah, definitely must see TV. You mentioned the healthcare workers. They got your golden buzzer. The confetti goes everywhere. But what did you miss most? Because I know from the crowd behind you, and it was good to see, I think, 4,000 people were allowed to be at the tapings now. But even to have Simon back on stage, he came out with his shorts, which kind of shocked everyone. But just to see all your faces again, I mean, was there anyone you missed most out of all the judges?
Just seeing another face in the same building with, well, you mentioned the shorts with pants on, because like we're talking right now, everybody you talk to is on Zoom or on the phone. You don't see people. So to actually see people and be there, and the electricity, we've all missed going to concerts, going to movies, going to tapings, and just to be back in that somewhat normal, listen, America's Got Talent has never been the norm. It's always, there is a reason why it's the #1 show of the summer. It is an exciting, relatable, place to be, where you see humans like you and me show up and with hopes and dreams, and their lives change forever. And that, I love seeing the face on anybody that shows up on stage. I love seeing the faces in person and the whole bodies of everybody that I work with, from Heidi and Sophia. Well, who doesn't like seeing their whole bodies? And Simon, we saw a lot of his body, more than we are used to seeing. We saw his knees and his thighs. And Terry Crews will always show you his body and his pec pops whenever he gets an opportunity. It's just the best group of people you can, it doesn't seem like a job. I keep thinking I'm going to pinch myself. I'm going to wake up and this is not going to be what I'm doing. It seems like too much fun, too much excitement. And I just want to share it with each and every person that hears me, sees me, talks to me.
Yeah. Howie, now this season, you mentioned the healthcare workers that came out and they showed us their talent, where I think a lot of the healthcare workers, they had to find ways to kind of escape just a little bit from working nonstop to make sure most everyone.
Well, they talked about that. They talked about how their days were filled with holding the hands of people passing away that couldn't be with their family, or watching people struggle for a breath and just trying to bring it. I mean, that eventually well, I don't even think eventually, right away, just wears on your humanity. And they looked the escape valve, and they couldn't even going home was a problem because they had been around that all day and they were wearing PPE, but they had to go in. They didn't hug their own children when they got home. So their respite from this pressure was getting together at the end of the day and just singing together. They could be with each other and they could sing, and music brought them kind of a comfort that they needed. And then they kind of comforted the entire world with this viral video that's now on YouTube. You can go catch it on AGT station, but on their network. But it was just amazing to see. And, it was born out of necessity, them getting together and saying, and what a treat for all of us to be able to share that and hear that.
Yeah, Howie, I don't think I've gotten goosebumps through, it was a 2-hour event, and just to have goosebumps most of the time to hear, and again, it could have been a combination of factors like finally live, everybody's in the studio, we get to hear voices, you see it again, but really from the young man, I think it was 7 or 10 years old from the Philippines, and then you get to see the two comedians, the father and son do their thing, and I'm thinking about, man, my son, if he gets to that age, how cool would that be to be able to do that? And then the healthcare workers singing, the 3 gentlemen, one accord that had met, I guess, at school a month and a half before, and got to do their thing on stage. And then even Dustin Tavella, I've known Dustin Tavella as he was as an artist, and kind of fell off our communication on social media and everything. But to see him come back last night, I was like, I think he looks familiar. And to know that he went from his music journey and then now doing magic. But I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about his story.
That was a beautiful, he really had an amazingly emotional presentation. Now, these goosebumps that you speak of, it could be a skin condition, and you might want to check out an ointment. But that being said, it is a truly emotional, joyous ride, these couple of hours of AGT. And that is the thing, we've lost, just because of the need to, we've lost this human connection. We've lost, just feeling somebody, going through something in the same room as you. And I think that, at AGT, it does give you those emotions, those goosebumps, those, and the beauty of it is, whether you're 5 years old or 95 years old, you could sit there and there's going to be something for everybody. It's great. It's great to gather the family, gather the friends, sit there, yell at the TV, cry at the TV, laugh at the TV. And if you don't enjoy what you're watching, wait 60 seconds, there'll be something totally different.
Yeah. A couple more questions here. Do you ever feel pressure to like contestants that may be more emotional, or that, like, let's talk about the dogs that came out at first, where they're all dressed up as all of the judges. To the glasses, Howie, what was his name? Was it Howie Mandel? Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel. Yeah.
No pressure to say yes.
No, I'm never pressured to say yes. What I've learned to do, and it's just that knee-jerk, honest reaction. Because at the beginning, when I started 12 years ago, it was really hard coming to this show after, and I still am, being a performer and wanting to be accepted and wanting to be liked. When we started the show used to travel. So we would go, like, from Texas today, we're in Houston. And then if it was just a local Houston kid on stage, the crowd would go crazy because it's their local. But if that kid wasn't great and I said, well, I don't know if that was a great choice of songs, the audience would just turn on me, the live audience right there. And that was hard, and that was scary, and that was different. And that's something that I didn't have my muscle memory is always just try to make them laugh, try to make them like you, but I've gotten used to just being honest. I just say what I feel. I say what I would say. And I've said this before, I've been doing it for 12 years. The show's been on for 16 years. I watched every episode. They're kind of paying me to do what I was doing anyhow, except I was sitting on the couch in my underpants watching the show going, that's not a song. Now they've given me pants and a paycheck for the best job on earth.
I love it. One more question here. Born with talent, or can it always be developed? What do you think seems to win more on AGT?
Authenticity. I think we are just, humanity is talented. We're all talented, and it doesn't matter what you do. Everything is art. You know, whether you're even a receptionist, you know, you could find a different way to do it, a different way to greet people, a different way to make people feel. So there isn't anything that is not a talent, whether you're willing to take the next step and showcase that. You know, I live by Nike, and that's just do it. You know, and nothing bad comes out of trying. You know, but as Gretzky said, I'm Canadian, so I have to refer to hockey, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Take every shot in life. And we now know, because of COVID, how precarious life can be. So do it now. Everybody, you know, there's auditions now open for season 17. So if you have a thought and you're even a receptionist, record yourself doing it and send it in. You don't know, it could be something.
Right. Or if you can crack walnuts with your butt cheek, that might be another talent that we need to see as well.
I couldn't believe Sophia could not.
I know, right? I know. Man, America's Got Talent, season 16 everywhere now. You can watch it on NBC, or you can go back and relive those moments on Hulu. Howie Mandel, thank you so much for stopping in this afternoon.
And download the podcast. This week's a really good one. Howie Mandel Does Stuff. Subscribe and review. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
I love it. Howie, you're awesome as always. Thank you very much.